Hey guys, this is Nick with PhoneArena and today we're reviewing the Sony Xperia Miro. What we have on our hands is a pretty basic Android smartphone. It comes with an 800 MHz single-core processor. There's a 3.5-inch LCD display on its front, and on the back we have a 5 megapixel camera with autofocus and LED flash. The good thing about this smartphone is that it comes with Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich out of the box, so there's no need to wait for an update from an older version of Android. As far as design is concerned, there's not a whole lot exciting about the looks of the Sony Xperia Miro. It's made entirely out of a boring matte plastic, but on the bright side of things, it feels compact and it's really easy to use with a single hand because our thumb can easily reach all corners of its display. Besides, you can have it in several colors, including an all-white version. Underneath the display we have three capacitive Android buttons which are well spaced out and aren't prone to accidental presses. Then on the left side we see the micro USB port, which is used for charging the battery and for connecting the smartphone to a PC. On its top side we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, the lock key, and a 2-button volume rocker is located on the right side of the smartphone. While the capacitive buttons work well and we have no complaints about them, we really wish that the lock button and the 2-button volume rocker were a bit bigger than this. There's a couple of notification lights on the Sony Xperia Miro. One of them is very discreet and is located next to the earpiece, and you probably won't be noticing it as much as the one underneath the capacitive buttons, which glows in a different color depending on whether you have a missed call, you have a new Facebook message, or the battery simply needs to be recharged. We hate to say it, but the 3.5-inch display on the Xperia Miro doesn't look pretty. It has a relatively low for its size resolution of 320 by 480 pixels, which is why graphics don't look particularly nice on it, and tiny text is nearly impossible to read. Moreover, finger smudge builds up relatively quickly on it, and then getting it off its surface is some easier said than done. At least its color representation is okay and viewing angles are also acceptable. Besides, if you put a little effort in it, you can use the display on a bright sunny day. As we mentioned earlier, the Sony Xperia Miro comes with Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich out of the box, and on top of it we have Sony's custom Timescape user interface running. It has a heavy emphasis on social networking, which is why you get a couple of cool widgets that help you keep track of your friends online. For example, this widget here aggregates your Twitter and Facebook feeds, so you can have a chronological list of messages and events. It can also support other social networks or services if needed. The Sony Xperia Miro also comes with useful applications such as Power Saver, which will disable certain features whenever the battery level drops below a certain percentage. There is also the Smart Connect application, which can automatically launch a certain application when an event is triggered. For example, the Walkman music player can be launched automatically when you plug in your headphones. The 800 MHz single-core processor inside the Xperia Miro surely gets the job done well. There is no lag when shuffling between home screens or when switching between applications. Also, gamers would be pleased to know that even some 3D games were very playable on the smartphone, including Minecraft or Temple Run. Unfortunately, the web browser on the Xperia Miro is pretty laggy when viewing heavy content-rich websites such as ours, especially when zooming in and out or panning around, and that's without having Adobe Flash turned on, as the plugin doesn't come preloaded on the device. Some lighter or mobile-optimized websites, of course, are a pleasure to enjoy. Believe it or not, the Sony Xperia Miro can take some pretty good looking photos with its 5 megapixel camera. When shooting outdoors, colors in photos are properly balanced and contain a sufficient amount of detail. Something you'll have to live with, however, is that focusing often takes a while, especially when there isn't a whole lot of light around. Videos don't look particularly nice as they are taken at a relatively low resolution of 640 by 480 pixels. And here's the tried and tested Walkman music player, which comes loaded on the Sony Xperia Miro. Chances are you won't be looking for an alternative, as this player gets the job done well. It offers features that you would expect, such as a number of sound enhancements like an equalizer, and there is also a widget for your home screen and controls for your lock screen. The stock video player doesn't offer a whole lot of advanced video playback features, but at least it supports a wide variety of video file formats. The maximum resolution at which video can be played is 480 by 800 pixels, which is okay considering that anything above that wouldn't have made a difference on a screen like this. Voice tones come out loud and clear from the earpiece of the Sony Xperia Miro and don't get distorted even when the volume is turned up to the maximum. The microphone, however, could have been a bit better, as our voice sounds a bit artificial on the other side of the line. According to Sony, the smartphone's 1500 mAh battery should provide about 24 hours of continuous usage time, which is pretty impressive, but that's only if the smartphone is being used with moderation. On a single charge, you can expect getting about 6 hours of continuous talk time, which is an average figure. In conclusion, the Sony Xperia Miro is an entry-level Android smartphone that we would definitely recommend, even though it has a display of below average quality and a rather uninspiring appearance. That's because it makes up for all that with a responsive interface and with the above average quality of the photos that its main camera is capable of taking. Of course, it would be wise to check out some of the alternatives before getting the Sony Xperia Miro. For example, the Sony Xperia U comes with a dual-core processor and a high-resolution display, and if your budget can handle it, there's always the HTC One V, which comes with an even better camera and superior build quality. Thank you for watching our video review of the Sony Xperia Miro. This is Nick, and if you'd like to check out any of our other smartphone reviews, just visit our website, PhoneArena.com.